Hey, what's going on YouTube? Alabama Reloader here. So, most of you probably recognize this logo. And so I just got back in town today. I was traveling out of town for work, and I had a notification that this package was going to arrive. Completely forgot about it while I was working throughout the week. I got home, and then this was waiting for me at the house. So, pleasant surprise. Now, what is it, right? Because SWFA, they became very popular and very well known based on, I believe it's Tiborosaurus Rex. I think that's how you pronounce his full YouTube name. He's the guy that has the Sniper 101 videos. If you want to go just get lost in long range shooting and basically any and everything that you need to think about and cover to go do that, go watch his video series. It's got some age to it. It is a little bit older in terms of when he actually put those videos out, but the information is outstanding, and I think it's literally like 101 videos or something crazy like that. I mean, it's an insane amount of material and just overall volume of information, and it's all free. I mean, he just put it out there, and yeah, just really good information. So, but he is a huge fan of SWFA stuff, and that's kind of, in my opinion, that's where it really took off, was once that gained a lot of popularity and he started doing some scope review videos of this optic or of this brand of optics, then they sort of got massively popular. Now, they're popular for their fixed power stuff. They sell a 6 power, I believe it's a 6, a 10, I think it's a 6, a 10, a 12, a 16, and a 20. I think they sell 5 different fixed power optics. And I've had a couple of those, I've purchased a couple of those in the past. I've had 2 of the fixed 10 power and 1 of the 20 power, I believe. Maybe 1 or 2 more. Come through my hands. I've got a fixed 10 currently, and I'm a huge fan of their fixed power scopes. But this one is not a fixed power scope. Check this out. This is the 2.5-10x32 Ultralight scope. Now they came out with this, and then this has a lifetime warranty on it. This just got a standard duplex reticle 1-inch tube. It's in MOA, quarter minute adjustments. But they came out with this, it's been probably maybe a few years ago, possibly. Not 100% sure. It's a relatively new optic that they added to their lineup. They've started adding variable power optics to their lineup a few years back, based off of the success of the fixed power optics. Everybody was raving about those, and so they kind of got into the game of, okay, well, now let's start to offer some other stuff. And so they've got some variable power optics out there as well. And when they introduced this, I was extremely interested because, as you know, if you've watched my channel, you've kind of seen a trend over time with the firearms that I've purchased and sort of the route that I've gone in setting up a hunting rifle for me personally. And it's been more of the lighter weight setup. I hunt public land. I do have access to some private land, but for the most part, if I'm going hunting, then more than likely it's going to be on public land, and that equals a whole lot of walking, typically, to try to get to a place where most people aren't going to want to get to. That's where you're going to have an opportunity to actually kill a good buck. And so, I'll give you for instance, on a trip I went on went hunting one day this past season. In total I walked 6.88 miles, right? It was 3.44 miles to the spot I wanted to hunt, and then of course 3.44 back. So just under 7 miles, just to get to the spot that I wanted to go to. And you can access it by boat, but as far as accessing it by foot, it's just a really long way. And that's kind of you know, the spots that I've found to hunt where you have the potential to kill a good buck, that's generally the case, is probably going to have to put in a little bit of walking to get to where you want to go. And the areas that I hunt, you know, you're up and down ridges, up and down mountains, that type of stuff. So the lighter the better when it comes to the equipment that you carry into the woods. I've gotten a little bit more conscientious about, you know, just not loading down my backpack and carrying everything in or whatever, trying to slip in as light as possible. That's where this guy comes in. So very interested in this. I have two Leupold 2.7-by-33 optics, 33mm optics, and love that magnification range. I was really hoping that I could get a Leupold that was like a 2-to-8, 2-to-10. 2-to-10 I think would just be amazing, but they don't make one for $300, which is how much those 2-to-7s cost. And so I was looking at this, and I really just wanted to kind of do a comparison of this optic versus one of those. If you'll go watch the video where my wife killed her first buck, I posted this not too long ago. I think I posted it back in January, I believe is when she killed it. Go look at that video. I filmed through the scope. That is with the Leupold optic, and magnification is 7. So it's more than adequate for the type of hunting that I do and the distances that I shoot when I typically go hunting. But I was really interested in this. They run these on sale pretty frequently. I just checked as of this video being uploaded on, what's today? March 2nd. It's sometime in the afternoon. On March 2nd, it's Thursday, 2023. I went and looked, and I can go buy this optic. It's like $251 shipped to my door. I don't think they have free shipping on their website. So for me, it's like $7 for shipping. So $251 to my door for this optic. Let's check it out. I've already opened it up, but I've repackaged everything exactly how it came from SWFA. So it's not necessarily an unboxing, but this is essentially how it's going to come from these guys. This is their standard packaging on their boxes. Okay, you know, they put virtually no money in their packaging whatsoever. So if you're expecting some awesome package like Arkin or something like that, forget about it. Not happening. It's just a very basic, very thin cardboard box that's literally stapled together with a couple of staples. But there's the scope. It sits in bubble wrap. So we'll pull this out. And they give you, what comes in the package is just a little Allen key for your turrets. Whenever you go to set your 0, once you get it dialed in and the scope 0, then you can go and take the turrets off and, you know, set them back to 0. So here it is. Now, of course, you just got your little desiccant pack in there, silica gel. Let's get this out of the way. Here she is in all her glory. Now, when I first opened this and pulled it out of the package, I was like, man, it just kind of feels a little cheap. And that's probably the wrong way to phrase it. Just initial thoughts when I pulled this out of the package, because I mean, it is lightweight, but it feels very much like a BSA optic. Okay, it feels just like that. However, it does not act like one. So, like I said, 2.5, so 2.5-10 by 32 millimeter objective. It is made in Japan, SWFA Inc., made in Japan. On this, you rotate this entire piece to get the reticle, sort of dial it into your eye specifically. This was actually turned almost all the way out. When I opened it initially, I just screwed it in until the reticle was really fine and crisp and, you know, worked well for my eye. And so that's where I have it setting now. This little ring here, once you do that, this little ring actually locks it in place so you can't rotate that. The diopter, this whole piece actually moves. And so And so I got it adjusted to my eye. It has a duplex reticle, which I am a huge fan of for hunting purposes. I cannot stand a BDC reticle. I've had them in the past, and I really tried to like them. I just do not like them for hunting applications. I mean, the distances that I shoot, you know, just a duplex reticle, it makes things so much simpler. And especially if you're looking to get someone into hunting, you know, like my wife, for instance, where she's only been hunting a handful of times in her life, and that's only after me and her got married. She's killed a doe and she's killed a buck. And for someone like that, if you're trying to get your kids into it, or if you're trying to get, you know, something like that where someone's not used to, you know, going hunting or shooting all the time, if you have a BDC reticle or you know, one of these fancy whiz-bang reticles nowadays, it just causes confusion, in my opinion, or at least the possibility for there to be confusion when the moment happens, because your adrenaline is pumping. Go back again, watch that video. You can hear it in our voices. You know, in that moment, you're so amped up, and you know, you might miss because you're aiming right incorrectly with whatever scope you're using, because the reticle isn't just a standard duplex reticle that's very intuitive and easy to use, right? Put the crosshairs where you want to shoot, pull the trigger. Very straightforward. So that's why I'm a huge fan of duplex reticles, especially in hunting applications. So this is just a very straightforward optic. Lightweight. The turrets are protected with screw down caps, so I like that a lot. So again, helps to cut down on weight. You don't have the massive target turrets like you see on a lot of optics nowadays. Those are perfectly fine, especially for target shooting, going to the range, shooting long distance, PRS, all that stuff. That's where those come into play, and you need those. Even in long range hunting applications, right? If you're one of those people that like to, so I'm gonna say, I'll leave it at this. So I'm not going to call it long range hunting. If you're one of those people that want to shoot an animal from 800 yards away, okay, you're just shooting at that point, and I'll leave it at that. So maybe a target turret is beneficial to you because you might be dialing or something like that. But again, for these turrets being capped, love that. And one of the things I was really surprised about was this. I mean, these things lock up extremely well. I was pretty much blown away when I opened this up, got it out of the package, took the caps off. Elevation and windage, exactly the same, and they lock up very tight, very audible clicks. I mean, that's very nice. So that's why I say, you know, hey, this, when you pull it out of the package, it's just got a little bit of a BSA optic feel to it until you start to put it through its paces and check out all the features, and then you quickly realize, oh no, this is a show enough optic right here. Let me get it back to 0. There we go. It's got a 1-inch tube, so again, that'll help cut down on weight, low profile, and of course, I mean, I'm not going to be able to get this on camera. I'm not even gonna try. No, I'm not even gonna try. We'll probably do a range session with this guy, and I will try to get it set up to where we can film through the scope. But the glass is super clear. The reticle, one of the things I really like about it, between the turrets and the reticle, those are the two best features of this optic, in my opinion. I mean, it's ultralight, so it's lightweight, not as light as my Leupold 2-7, but it is a very lightweight optic. That reticle is very fine. It has a very fine duplex reticle. You know, for your crosshairs, and that's what I like. I know, you know, some people might say, well, you don't want to go too fine on a hunting optic, because then, you know, you may lose that, especially early morning, late afternoon hunts. That could become problematic. So yes, that's definitely a possibility. It's not you know, it doesn't have illumination, so that is a little bit of a downside when you go to a finer reticle in a hunting application, right, early in the morning. You know, you have a little bit, if it's a darker situation, early in the morning, late in the day, late in the afternoon, that sun starts to go down. It's just, yeah, it is something that you have to be aware of. But I really like that fine reticle, that fine crosshair in this particular optic. So, initial impressions. If you don't go buy one of these, you're crazy. Haven't put it on a rifle yet. That will be step number 1, is to get this guy. I'm thinking on the, I think I'm gonna put this on the Winchester Model 70 and 7 Win short mag. I'm thinking. I don't know. We'll see. I just need to throw it on a rifle and take it to the range and just kind of check it out and see how it stands up. That's why I'm thinking the 7 Wisdom would be a good option. See how it stands up under, you know, that type of recoil. That's the heaviest recoiling rifle I own. So throw it on there and see what it's all about. I would put it on the 30-06 I just picked up, but that has 30 mil rings on it already. I can swap them out very easily. It's just the 7 Wisdom already has 1-inch rings on it, so why not, right? But all right, that's it. That's where we're gonna leave it. I'm super pumped about this. I'm so glad this was sitting at the house when I got home. Very excited to get this thing mounted up and do a direct comparison between this and that Leupold. Again, you got a little bit more of a magnification, you know, upper limit here with going all the way to 10, which is really nice. That magnification ring turns very smoothly, no issues here. I mean, this is just a dynamite optic. If you're looking for a lifetime hunting optic, I mean, it's got a lifetime warranty, so $251, like I said, right now, you can go pick this up from SWFA.com. It's a no-brainer. I haven't mounted it yet, but just the initial once over seems like it's going to be a slam dunk. So, also, I'm a big fan of Downton Abbey. Okay, if you don't like that show, you're also crazy. It's a really good show. So that's it, guys. Go pick you one up. You will not be disappointed, especially for your hunting rig. This is going to be an awesome hunting setup, scope for a hunting setup. So that's it. That's where we're going to leave it. Don't forget, go see Mr. Big Guns. Go check out Mr. Big Guns in Huntsville. Talk to Matt and those guys. They got in a big shipment of reloading stuff and firearms and anything you need. Those guys have it. So go check them out, and we'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good one. See you.